Revolt Show.
Where can you drive the new 2025 Acura Integra for only $289 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house!
Get out of the house! Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Where can you drive the new 2025 Acura RDX for only $399 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge, Total Landscape Solutions.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
It's big. It's gigantic. It's the Toyota of Hollywood Super Sale. Over 2,000 Toyotas from just $17,988. Like a Corolla LE, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. Join the fun and get a super deal at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
South Florida, listen carefully. Osmani Garcia with Omega Realty Group is changing the game. He's not just listing homes. He's guaranteeing to sell yours in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it himself. No excuses, no delays, no fine print games. This is real. If you're serious about selling, call 305-440-1990 and see if your home qualifies. Osmani Garcia delivers results. Osmani Garcia, the home of the 30-day sale guaranteed, where guarantees are backed by action. Call now, don't wait. This market won't wait for you. Restrictions apply. Call 305-440-1990.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt and Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt and Rayom can help.
Where can you drive a new Acura ZDX for only $439 a month? There's just one place, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Welcome aboard. Time to rock and roll. Have some fun. It's a Tuesday. Thank you for joining us. Sean Stanley, of course. He is mastering the platform as always. Appreciate all of you out there. It's a beautiful Tuesday. A lot of good news, man. But it's mostly crypto. I'm sorry. But anyway, no, we got some stuff. We got the Panthers tomorrow, which is good. Ira Winderman will join us today. Furonis normally today, but with minicamp, we're going to have him tomorrow instead. So, I mean, there's not really a lot going on. Jonnu has not been traded. Jalen Ramsey has not been traded. We are awaiting, what happens there. If they do trade Jonnu, I don't even know if they will. But, so, yeah. It's one of those deals. We're just waiting. We're just waiting and waiting and waiting. Anyway, so lots of things to talk about. Oh, by the way, I am wearing my Caspa hat today in honor. You guys know I've been telling you about Caspa for a while. Is my man here? Is he on here right now? Let me see. He's not here yet. But anyway, he usually chimes in. But anyway, so we've been talking about Caspa for a while. And we've been telling you that it's not on Coinbase. It's not on OKX. It's not on Crypto.com. And it's not on Binance. The 4 largest crypto exchanges in the world. It's not on any of them. And why? Well, 99% of crypto coins, Bitcoin's not crypto. They buy their way onto exchanges. They give them a certain amount of coins or whatever, and that's why they're not centralized. Bitcoin, you want to sell it, you got to buy it. You want to sell it, you better mine it. You got to earn it. Caspa's the same way. Caspa is exactly like Bitcoin, except it's faster. It's more scalable. It's actually better suited for money, and it has the same security level as Bitcoin. You have to earn it, Caspa. So no exchange has put it on. The big exchanges haven't put it on because you have to buy it in order to sell it. You have to mine it in order to sell it. Mara, biggest Bitcoin miner in the world, is mining Caspa. It's either Binance or Coinbase and OKX, but they're all buying Caspa behind the scenes because we're tracking their wallets. They just haven't listed it yet, but they have loaded up on millions and millions of Caspa already to sell. And they bought it at a lower price, and I think they're waiting for the big print. They're waiting for us to start lowering rates and then start printing, and I think they're going to post it. So, cruising around, and on LinkedIn, I find the Coinbase director, Ibrahim Yu, on LinkedIn. And he's putting out something, goes, if you are looking for a complete decentralized project, Caspa is the future. This is the director at Coinbase, where it's not listed yet. Down here, by the way, just in case, 2 technologies I believe will shape the future of crypto. One of them is Sui, and the other one is Caspa. They have Sui already listed. Sui's been listed. Sui's blown up, and whatever. Caspa. It's at 9 cents right now. Some of us took advantage when it went down to 6 and 7. I started at 10 and 11, but when it went down to 6 and 7, I freaking loaded up. So why would the Coinbase director be pumping something that's not on their platform? Maybe it's coming. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know shit about this. I don't know anything. Go ask a real financial advisor, okay? I'm just a schmucko that loves Bitcoin, Caspa, and crypto. But figured I'd show you guys this because I think it's important, and especially for those of us that are investors. There you go. You know what I'm saying? By the way, you can support the show many ways. One, you can hit the hell out of that like button. We try to do as much for you guys. We ask you to support us however you can with a like button, with a donation, Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. Sean will show you all the QR codes. You can send in a donation, Cash App or PayPal, Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or PayPal. And Ho Yoon, thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Sean appreciates you immensely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you for your generosity. On Venmo, appreciate it. Thank you. So Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, and Solana donations because they have all four of those on Venmo too. So either way, I'm an investor in all four of those actually. Notice how they loaded up on the right ones on Venmo. It's like, it makes me feel good because those are four that I'm all invested in. So those are the ones that they put out because they know, they figure it out, just like the Coinbase director. He's being honest on LinkedIn, So I think it's and that's got and on LinkedIn it's very business-like. It's much more, it's not really like a all-out like X and Instagram and stuff like that. You kind of represent yourself a little differently there on LinkedIn. So I found it to be very, very interesting, that little note. That got me inspired. By the way, Sean, we have doubters in this world. I don't know if you know that. Do you know that? And we have doubters in this world. We have people that maybe still don't believe in Bitcoin. Do you believe that there's people like that out there, Sean? Huh? That still don't believe? Of course, right? Of course. We still have fools that don't believe in Bitcoin. You may want to take down that Venmo for 1 second there, sir, because I want to post something to show people a graph. This is one for the Bitcoin haters right here. Since 2015, these are the lows, not the highs. It's easy to do the highs. I love somebody put this together. 185 in 2015, 365 in 2016, $780 in 2017, $3,200 in 2018, $3,400 in 2019, $5,000 in 2020, 5 years ago. The low was 5,000. In 2021, the low was 25,000. Then we had a dip in 22 at 15.4 and then 16.4 in 23. And then we jack up to 38.5 in 2024. And then in 2025, the low has been 75K, and I don't think we'll ever see that again now. We'll never go down there again. Do you know what the low is going to be for 2026? That's the graph you got to show the idiots, the haters, people that are ignorant, people that just don't get it. Me, years ago, same thing. But I'm willing to admit that I was ignorant. I didn't pay attention. I didn't study. I didn't really know about how bad the dollar is and what they were doing to it and all that kind of stuff. Until 6 years ago that I really got into it. And so, there you go. I can't imagine what that low is going to be in 2026. It's going to be over 100. Whatever it is, 105, 110, 130. I don't know. 150. But you see the jumps that are coming now? We're done with those other ones. Now comes in institutional money, now comes in countries and cities. Texas is about to start their Bitcoin reserve. They're passing that shit. New Hampshire already passed theirs. Arizona's bogus. But the Texas and the New Hampshire ones are legit. So that to me is the genius, whoever came up with that. Because that's the one you got to show the people that don't understand it, don't get it. And it's like, wait a minute, those are the lows? Yeah, I'm in. You know what I'm saying? So, still not too late. It's not too late. And it's finite. So, just, little crypto corner for you all since, you some of you may need it. And can't say that we didn't provide the service. And that's the beauty of it. That's where I feel good. I feel good. I provided the information for years, and it's improved the lives of some of you out there. So, all good. You can go ahead and find out the information yourself and do your own homework, because I am certainly not a financial advisor. But anyway, don't forget, folks, smash the hell out of the like button. We got 76 already watching, only 33 likes. So half of you are hitting, less than half of you are hitting the like button. TJ Superman, I see, is number one. Jay Gelfin is in the house, hitting that like button and subscribe. Thank you, Jay. NorCal in the house. Oscar Rojas. Jeff in Long Island. He made blueberry pancakes. I'm plain Jane. I just like regular pancakes. But I see the people with the blueberry and the chocolate and all that kind of stuff. One-Eyed Jack says, good morning, Big O Sean. Keep buying Bitcoin and Caspa. I bought more over the weekend and on Monday. Good for you, sir. Sam the Man. Shitty weather out there. Yes, sir. Be careful. If you're in South Florida, I don't know how the weather is in your place. I'm hoping I don't get much rain on Friday, or no rain on Friday for Metallica, because we are in an open air stadium. So that's I hope the system is out of, at least on the West Coast there, because it's supposed to be dissipating as the week goes on. But I hope I get good weather in Tampa this weekend for that. What else do we have? Sam the Man, I see. Gus 1388. Alexis Palenzuela. Lenny Pena. Let's go Cats. I wish the Finns were more like the Panthers. We all do, bro. We all do. And they're light years away from that. And we've got something to talk about too, Dolphins-wise. What else? Big Johnson is in the house. Dustin. This will be the worst team McDaniel has coached as a Dolphins head coach. To expect worse results. Dustin, thank you, sir. Thank you for just common sense and intelligence. Thank you for compartmentalizing and taking the fan out of you, because that's what I try to do on the show. We're going to watch anyway. It's like I was telling that guy on Twitter, dude, I watched the Heat knowing they're not going anywhere. I know some of you idiots, you think the Heat is special, or you think you're going to get some big name or something. I know you're not. I mean, I say it every year, don't I? Every year, you're not getting the guy. Didn't I say the Heat are going nowhere? Like, did I not watch every game? Yeah. I don't understand that part. You know what I mean? I'm not that fan. There's some of you out there that, it's really pathetic. It really is. Like, your feelings are hurt because I don't think the team's very good, or they're not going to be good. So people like you, Dustin, this is why I do the show, for people like you. Intelligent, common sense. Doesn't mean we don't love the Dolphins. Doesn't mean we don't love the Heat. But they're not going anywhere, dude. It's so obvious. The Heat does everything wrong. How the hell are they going to get anywhere? The Dolphins, they're not doing it right. How the hell they're going to get anywhere? I don't understand that. And we got one thing that I want to make sure, because I got to put it out there. Juan Rosa, Cosa, Rosendo. To a Tuesday? How about till Tuesday? Hush, keep it down. Christian D, Juan Rosa, Sergio Scarillo got that Pat Riley swag. Who's Sergio Scarillo? I don't know. Sean, what am I missing? Do you know who Sergio Scarillo is? Am I missing something? Juan, I'm sorry, bro. That went right over my head. I don't know. I apologize. Max MC Masi says, good morning. 51 years, 3 months, and 14 days since the Dolphins beat Minnesota. Yes, sir. Today is day 18,726 since the Miami Dolphins lifted the Lombardi Trophy. This isn't great. Good news. It's a sunny day today, and Metallica is coming to Tampa Bay, baby. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll be there. Give me a shout out so we can say hi. I'll be on the floor, by the way. Yeah. What up?
Sergio is the head basketball coach of the senior Spain national team, an Italian basketball coach. He's got the hair jetted back, kind of like Riley back in.
Oh, I see. So he's got the Riley look. I got you now. Now that's what he means by it. Okay. All right. Well, post a picture for us there, Sean Stanley. Show the crowd what Juan Rosa is talking about. Anthony Kyle Campos. Lou from Dade. What's up, Lou? Say hi to Ash for me. Ty in the Bronx. Ian loving his Peter Schiff. C's, do we have to trade Ramsey? He doesn't want to be here, bro. There's a Mike McDaniel malaise in the building. I don't have any control over that, my friend. You know, people don't believe in that guy. It's sad, and I don't know how many of you believe. I mean, I'm completely off that bandwagon. I don't believe in him at all. So yeah, the Ramsey thing is bad, dude. But that's part of many other defections. Aha. Okay. Can you click the picture, or is that like an article or some shit? Well, yeah, I see.
Well, what I did was I put that article on because, of course, somebody that we don't know, but they say the Miami Heat are monitoring Sergio Scariolo for the associate coaching role.
Okay.
This was yesterday. So, okay. And then I'll try to post on the picture now. There's a better picture.
Interesting. So the Heat are looking at him, huh? De España. Un gallego. Chico, eso es Alzugaray. Ese es el hijo brother mío. This is why I want to go to Madrid. And by the way, you can get the Spaniard to Madrid with Sean. You can make a donation there. Help us. We want to broadcast all week over there. Soy Basco. So I want to be there. I want to be there with my people. Help us. Please make a donation. Use that QR code. We've got a GoFundMe page for this. I know most of you have been donating through Venmo and Cash App and PayPal. Very few have done it through there, actually. We haven't even gotten to the price target, the first price target of it or anything. We're not even close to it because everybody's doing it. Like Ho Yoon did it again today. You know, he does it every week. A very generous donation every week, you know, and it's like he doesn't send it there. He sends it here because that's for the trip, but he sends it every week, and we appreciate it because we need it badly. It is an expensive trip, but we want to broadcast all week. We told you we don't bullshit you on this show. I don't expect much of a season. I think this is the peak of our season because it's going to be cool to have an international game, and it's against Washington, not against the Jacksonville Jaguars and stanky fingers. I mean, that was not. This is sexy, you know, and hopefully Hey, listen, you know our Dolphins are going to put together a couple of games where they'll play well, and I hope that this is one of them, since we'll all be there. And I can't wait to hang out with the fans, because that's really the best part. Ask Lou from Dade, who does this with Ash all the time, all over the place. The same thing. The best thing is hanging out with everybody else. It's the games usually depress us. It's the tailgating. It's the hanging out at the bars. It's hanging out, watching, talking. That's what it is. Just, going over our frustrations. That's what we do. So, unfortunately, my friend, we do have to trade Ramsey because it's a toxic situation in this building. And that's why Jonnu Smith wants a new deal. He's like, bro, I'm 29. I don't have any guarantees in this contract after this year. I got to waste another year with these bums. And, we're not going, and they know they're not going anywhere this year. So let me get some money out of this bitch. That's what's going on. And I don't blame Rosenhaus and Jonnu Smith for this. I just don't. I don't. And next year it'll be Sealer. Not now, but next year Sealer will kick ass again. And then you'll have to pay him. That's all. Big O, do you invest in XRP? I was recently gifted some, but I personally think it's junk. Maybe I need to do more research. No, it's good. It's good. Now, here's the thing about XRP. There's another 50 billion that they haven't released. So that's very inflationary. The fact that he has the tool to release 50 billion, and that guy cannot be trusted. It will go up, but it's not going to blow up like people say it will. It just, the numbers are not there. Will it go up? Yes. Now, would I invest in Caspa instead? Yes. I would go Caspa over XRP. If you want gun to head. Now, if you were gifted it, who gives a shit? Let it sit there, and when it grows to what you think is close to max, cash out and move it over to Bitcoin or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now, would I be a heavy investor in XRP? No, I would not. I have a light investment in XRP, and I picked up some, and I have not picked up any more. I'm not as big a believer as others are. Do I believe it's a good company? Do I believe it'll grow? Yes. Do I believe it'll grow to the point that others say? Not even close. Not even close. So can it go to $10, $15 down the line? Yeah, I think it could. I think. Is it going to go to 50 and $100 and all that like people say? No. I just don't believe that. I just don't. The market cap is so high at this point. You know how many times you got to flip that shit? So it's very hard, very hard. But it's a solid company. It's just probably not as big as people make it out to be. That's just my opinion. Okay. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. What else do we have? Ocala Joe, morning. Oh, the beach is as beautiful as Caspa this morning here in Jacksonville. Have a good show. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You and Lourdes have a great day, my friend. Pat in Asheville. It started sprinkling near the end of the Charlotte Metallica show. Luckily, it stopped after a song or so. Cool seeing the band react to it. Well, I've seen them play in the rain. Yeah, it's there's some videos out there, some YouTube videos. Man, there's some good Metallica concerts out on YouTube, man. I love YouTube. I get to watch concerts all the damn time. Until the Heat reboot, we ain't going anywhere. Smart fans. KC says it sickens me to think that the Dolphins having another crap season after being a fan since 78. It's a real struggle being a Dolphins fan. I know, man. I feel you, dude. I feel your pain, bro. I love the team. It's my favorite sports team of all time. I live, eat, and breathe Dolphins, but I'm not also going to bullshit you people. You suffer enough. So I'm going to lift your spirits so you can get down. No, I'm not doing that. Not doing that. If there's a reason to try, then yeah, I'm first in line to help lift the spirits. But when there's nothing, I'm not giving you false hope, dude. I'm not doing the hopium thing. Not doing it. Magnus, Alexis, True Fin fan, 18,726. Time flies, yes. It does. Jeff in Long Island, Brian Landis, McMillan, trade him to the Marlins. Jake from Palatown, Ariel Savaria. I lost trust in McDummy last year. I don't blame you. Big O, did you ever see the Miami Vice show? Of course. I watched it from the beginning. I watched it the second it aired. In fact, if I remember correctly, help me out here, folks. Did it start off on a Friday night? Because why do I remember waiting for Miami Vice, watch it, and then I'd go out? Was it a Thursday night or a Friday night? Because I went out on Thursdays too. This is the 80s. Thursdays was usually a ladies' night a lot of places, actually. So, yeah, Thursday night was ladies' night. Shit. I think Casanova, Backstreets, Mystique. Yeah, there was ladies' nights all over the place. So Thursday I used to go out. But I remember, I don't know why in my mind, I remember watching Miami Vice. I didn't have a VHS or something, I think, at that moment. I might have. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe I didn't know how to program it because it was so confusing in those days. But I remember watching Miami Vice and waiting for it to be done and then going out. So that's how religious it was for me in those days. I loved we all loved Miami Vice. I mean, living in South Florida, the Vice like put the city on the map for the world. You know, it was really cool. It was like a shot. Like it's funny because the talk at the beginning was, oh, this is bad for Miami because it's about drug dealing and all this and that. And what it ended up was making South Beach more glamorous than it really was actually in those days. Because South Beach was not glamorous in those days. And yet there was only a couple of spots of it. You know what I'm saying? And with all the Art Deco and everything, and it getting revitalized from the trash that it was back in the 70s. So yeah, it was an interesting time. It was fun. Let me see if let's see. They said the same thing about Scarface. Yeah,
it was a Sunday.
It was a Sunday. Okay,
yeah.
There it was. Then it was Sunday, and then I would go to Sundays. That's what it was.
It was a 2-hour show. That first one was a 2-hour show.
Right. I would go either to Sundays or to Monty's on Sundays. Complete rutinero. Anyway, what else do we have here? Going on in the world. He looks nothing like Riley. Well, I mean, it's the look. It's not that he looks like Riley. He has the.
Yeah, it was the hair, not the face or anything.
It's not the identical thing. It's the look. You know. So, sorry, but Pat only had the hair. He had the suit, the shoes, and the watch. Riles looks like Gecko. Looks more like Gecko. True Fin Fan, thank you, sir. Were your parents born in Spain? No, actually, they weren't. My grandparents were, not the dad and the mom. So the grandparents were. So that's where Atsugaray comes from. Apparently, my people are from the mountains. That's what I'm told. I don't know. What the hell do I know? You know what I mean? I've never really gone into my ancestry, but it's kind of what I'm told. I should actually try to study it up and see what the hell. Maybe I will before I go. Maybe I will. I should actually. Yes, sir. What are you going to say?
No, I just want to get it out there now. Heat Nation, I'm not attacking Pat Riley. Calm down. Everybody's like, Pat Riley was more than hair. He doesn't look like Pat Riley. That wasn't an attack on Pat Riley. Calm down, Heat Nation.
Hey, by the way, Pat Riley has sucked the last 10 years. Here, I'll take the heat off Sean. You're going to attack me. I think I've been saying that for a while now. Well, I love Pat Riley. I don't want him to go anywhere, but Pat, my brother, you ain't got no fastball the last 10 years. You ain't got no fastball. So get mad at me. All right, let's do it. Let's rock. You know, this man failed the test 2 years ago. We're going to find out. We're going to retest him after 2 years. We'll find out if Ira Winderman can now pass the test in our Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat, and NBA report.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
All right. How you feeling, Ira? You feeling good?
Doing good, a little bit rested, getting ready for the draft, free agency, sort of like, in all our sports, the calendar just keeps moving. And the Heat, I think right now, I think you would agree, would have to keep moving as well.
Oh, well, you know what I want them to do. I need them to reset, and they probably won't. Unfortunately, they'll probably keep tail, and they're going to be in the hamster wheel. Like I've been telling you, that's what they're going to do, the hamster wheel, right? They're going to try to go out and get some kind of a veteran to add to these two guys, right?
They're going to try to remain competitive. And I'm going to give you the perfect example. If you saw this shot from yesterday, I was going through the television, just seeing what was on, and I noticed, wow, I'm really curious what a crowded Marlins game would look like against a team on a path for the worst record in the history of baseball. And you can tell how tight the shots were. They didn't want us to see. And then I read after they had an announced tickets sold of 5,000, which one tells me how few season ticket holders they hold, that those are the people who bought the tickets and didn't even show up, and the crowd there. So every week when you constantly berate me about the Heat needing to do more, to move to the future, to sort of reset and all that, I come back to this, Big O. Do you really think fans in this market will support a 4 or 5 year required rebuild when you see crowds like that at the Marlins?
First of all, they're not the Marlins. They have given us way more. So more people will respond to the Heat and support their rebuild. But you have to do the responsible thing. And if you have to take a couple of steps back financially, my brother, why are you a billionaire? Again, here we go. Act like a fucking billionaire.
Or act like a businessman. In other words, when I talked to Mickey Harrison about this several years ago, his thought is, this is one of his businesses.
And all he cares about is trying to get the bottom line and get money back and break even or something like that with a shitty product. Instead, take the steps back. If some people don't show up, well, then too bad. The people that give out their season tickets and give up, others will be able to now jump in. So when you do bounce back, you're going to be sitting pretty in those seats at this point. But if you're a billionaire, you have to be able to also take hits. You have to be willing. And since you and your organization have been complete screw-ups for 10 years and you keep doing it wrong and you're not getting anywhere, you're lucky the best coach in the world makes you look better than what you are. The responsible thing is to sell out your pieces, get as many picks, and restart this whole thing, because you're only on a hamster wheel now. You're not going anywhere, and just being competitive is also not enough. And by the way, Ira, if you continue on this pace, you will continue to lose fans year in and year out, because they will get off the bandwagon going, you're not trying, you're not doing it. If you're going to do the same thing, you're going to get the same results. This is insanity. This is the definition of insanity. And if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to end up with the same results. If you don't make the drastic change, you're never going to actually get to that point.
How drastic is the question that you and I debate every week here in our Acura Pembroke Pines report? I agree change is needed. I agree a shakeup is needed. I'm not an everything guy, because I think an everything guy cuts too much to the core. I will say this. I have come around on trading Bam Adebayo in a scoring league when we're seeing the Thunder and the Pacers in the finals and realizing these 100-point, 95-point Heat games aren't enough. On the other hand,
the only thing Thibodeau can coach is defense.
What I'm saying is I also would stay with Tyler Hero because offense matters, and he's a damn good scorer. Now, Big O, wake the F up, and I'm saying this. Will I extend him this season? Will I extend him this season? No, I will wait to see how it plays out. But scoring is hard to find for the Heat. And if you find a scorer who's a big-time scorer, who even in the darkest hours was the lone shining light like he was in Game 2 against Cleveland, I would move in that direction. But would I move off of Bam Adebayo? I've really come around on that, and I've really changed my tune on that. He is a wonderful complement to a team that is pretty much almost there. We saw that in the Olympics last summer. You put Bam with good players, he becomes an even better player. You put Bam with, no offense, Alec Burks, Andrew Wiggins, players like that, he becomes just another guy. I would maximize his value. He's locked into a contract. A team that doesn't get free agents can go trade for him. I would move in that direction. And my equivalency, and I know the Heat will argue about this, and they probably are right, would be someone like Miles Turner. What Bam does, what Miles Turner does, Bam's a better defender. But Miles Turner is the fourth option on the Pacers. That's the difference. He's not being asked to be number one or number two. So I think the reset can be smartly done to get components. But I'm telling you, until Tyler Hero, this team didn't have that type of consistent scorer. Jimmy Butler wasn't that. Jimmy Butler is an NBA dinosaur right now who the Warriors are going to find out also can't be counted on. And a matter of fact, I think the Warriors with their mix, with Draymond and with Jimmy, and with two nice facilitators, they're going to be in trouble unless Steph goes off for 35 every night. They don't have the balance of offense. But I do think with Tyler Hero, I want to give him another season. I want to see how he fits in with his scoring, that maybe he is the number two, the Robin that he hasn't been asked to truly be on a winner, and then build from there. I love the fact of this. He has 2 more years under contract. He's under contract no matter what, Big O. You can wait. You can see what works with them. You can see what you get with Bam. You can see what you get in the draft this year at number 20, and maybe even willing to go with Orlando Alzagari on this. Take a step back, have a gap year, see what you get in the draft when you have your own pick in 2026 next year, maybe a lottery pick, and then you can exhale. And then you can inhale again and see where you stand. I don't think it has to be as dramatic as you say, but I do not deny that change is absolutely necessary for this team. The question is, are the Arisons, or Pat Riley, Adam Simon, throughout the front office, Andy Ellisberg, willing to buy into that? What I'm saying, Big O, is you have to take small steps before you take a bigger step. The blowing it up is one thing that you can do when you have nothing as a core. I think there are components here that you still can build with rather than scorched earth. I just don't think scorched earth really gets you that far. And the teams that have gone scorched earth, one example was my Ask Ira today. Look at the Spurs and what they've done, and they got Wembanyama. They're going to have number 2. Oh, my God. For the last 6 years, they've had 3 seasons with 22 wins, two or three seasons with 30. That's a really rough path. I think you can get around that a little bit.
I hate to say this, but Popovich isn't better than Spo. Sorry. He couldn't go 31-10 with scrubs like Spo did. I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna defend Spo to the death, bro.
And I get that.
And when I watch Popovich, he's fantastic with stars. With lesser players, I haven't seen what I've seen with Spo.
Well, and he's also in a market where he could be willing to lose because there's not, I don't know if you've ever been to San Antonio. It's not a goddamn other thing to do in San Antonio, except every Tex-Mex place on the Riverwalk is the same restaurant. And the Alamo, you get there and you go, wow, this place is tiny. And why didn't they just go to Wendy's across the street? Not much there. Their fan base will support because they don't got a goddamn other thing to do than when Larry Coker was coaching at UT San Antonio.
USTA.
Right. So except for that, except for what they had, it's a different market. But I do agree. I've come around after a month of browbeating on the Acura Pembroke Pines report that the Heat have to do something, and it has to be something significant after 3 straight years. You can say Jimmy was something significant, but like I asked Pat Riley at his press conference a month ago, what did you really get out of that? You got Andrew Wiggins, a trade piece. You got Davion Mitchell, a restricted free agent who might or might not stay. You got the number 20 pick in the draft. That wasn't a dramatic move. That was just taking the trash out. That was moving on from a previous, I don't want to say mistake, from a previous era. I think you have a piece in Bam now. You can go out and make a bold move. Love Bam as a person. So do you. Love Bam for what he does, that he gives his all, unlike Jimmy, every single night. But sometimes it's a business, and you've got to let go of the emotional side and move to the business side.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm with you there. Oh, by the way, you failed this test 2 years ago. I'm going to give it to you again now. Carter Verhaeghe or Tyler Hero?
I'm still going to stay with Tyler Hero, so I'll probably fail again.
Oh, no. Oh, come on. How can you do that?
I know Carter Verhaeghe is a big game guy in big moments who gets big goals, and I understand all that. I don't think he ranks in the NHL continuum the way that Tyler does, and I'll even make this case. The Panthers, when you look at when you rank the Panthers, 1 through 22, 21, however many they're playing,
he doesn't have to be that now because they've got
He doesn't have to be. He never has been. That's the reason the Lightning let him go.
A couple of years ago, he was one of your leading scorers because you didn't have all these guys.
But you got Kachuk and you brought in other players.
When you had Huberdeau and Barkov as your leaders, he was the dog. He was the dog.
He was the dog behind Barkov, and honestly, at that point, maybe behind Ekblad also.
No, my brother. He was the dog. Barkov and Huberdeau were not the dogs. He was the dog in the playoffs that year. Not Barkov or Huberdeau. That's the reason why I was screaming from the top of the mountains, you must dump one of your 2 stars for another star. Go trade Huberdeau. And then they went and traded Huberdeau for Kachuk. And that's the ingredient that Barkov needed next to him.
And I'm there with it.
Both guys back then I said were goobers. And, Barkov, God bless him, he's kind of a goober.
Well, now I'm going to interrupt here. So now Orlando Alzagari is admitting he's wrong because when the Panthers made the Kachuk trade, they kept one of their stars in Barkov. They didn't go scorched earth.
Ira, you're not listening. You're not listening. I said that you have to trade Huberdeau. You can't trade Barkov because he's a freaking stud, but he's not a leader in the locker room that he'll rattle cages. You gotta go get that mofo. And since Huberdeau's not that guy, go trade Huberdeau. And they went and traded for Kachuk. My brother, I nailed it. I'm the only guy in town that said fire Talon. I'm the only guy in town that said go trade Huberdeau for a star. I know you don't listen to the show, but I actually nailed the whole thing from the get-go with the Panthers.
And what I'm saying is that was a partial move. They didn't blow up the team. They moved a major piece for a major piece.
We're not comparing Tyler or Bam to Barkov.
But what I'm saying is I think you can do it by moving one of your pieces and keeping at least an anchor piece, whether you think he's a 2, whether you think he's a 3. I just think in today's NBA, I think Tyler Hero's value is increased as much by what's going on overall as Tyler. This has become such a scoring league that you could be toughest minded, hardest working, blah, 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 bull crap culture. You can talk about winning on defense and winning in the mud and winning ugly. The game has changed in the NBA. Yes, the Thunder have great defense. They could score. Yes, the Pacers have gotten better on defense. They can score. They run. I think Tyler's value increases exponentially because how the game has changed. When the Heat first drafted Bam Adebayo in 2017, there were still plenty of teams playing in the mud and winning in the mud. The rules changed. The times changed. The players changed. The coaching around the league changes. You've got to tilt back toward offense. And if I have an offensive player, I would feel more comfortable working around that, working off of that. Now there's your mainstay, but working around that, just like moving on from Jimmy, no matter what his attitude was, probably was the right move because Jimmy's style of play is not the ultimate winning style of play in the NBA right now. Look at Jokic and who finished second in the MVP voting and has been right up there. He's not a defensive player, but he's so great offensively that he makes it work in today's game. You need that offense. So I would say, yes, I'll meet you halfway. I think moving on from Bam, God bless him. And you know what? Hell, we'll raise his number to the rafters also. We raise them all anyway. But I think that's where I would start.
Yeah, I think you got to trade both guys and get as many picks as possible. And then that way you start teaming up with all your other young guys. And since you can draft now, and who knows, maybe a star does become available and you have all those first round picks. Now you have the chips to play the poker you've never had, because you go into it every year with the hope of landing that star, this star, and you just don't have the chips.
No, and the rules have changed. And the rules have changed. The rules of free agency have changed. The rules of spending have changed. This is a trade league. The best players on each team in the NBA Finals were acquired in a trade. Halliburton for the Pacers, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the Thunder were acquired in trades. It's a trade market right now. It's not dumping your rings on the table. It's not loading up on your cap space like you did for LeBron and Wade. It's making the smart and the prudent moves, and you hope you have the right people to do that. I agree.
Yeah. I know, I get it. Everybody, it's not a sexy matchup, all this. All right, Ira, let's a little deeper on here.
Sure.
The NBA wanted parity. They came up with these aprons, and it's actually genius in the sense that it's going to create parity because they have created the way to eliminate super teams.
Agree.
Okay. So, but super teams is why we've been watching since the 80s.
Totally agree. Agree.
So is the NBA kind of hurting itself a little bit because now, yeah, sure, you're creating a lot of parity and almost anybody's going to have a chance, but you're not going to have that draw anymore of the Celtics coming to town and the big three coming to town and Shaq and Kobe or Magic and the boys or the bad boys or Fundamental and the boys, the Spurs and stuff. Man, to me, that's the attraction in basketball. Try to knock off the king of the hill.
You're totally right. And this is the first NBA Finals with two teams not in the tax, but these are two teams heading toward the tax because all of these rookie scale contracts for OKC will become real contracts for OKC, and they'll have decisions to make. Right. And this offseason, we mentioned him. The Pacers will have a decision to make on Miles Turner. And if they pay him to keep him to endure, they will become not only a tax team, but an apron team and have their own issues going forward. Then you'll have someone like Nembhard getting his money. This is what I'd like to see. And I know, Big O, you and a lot of your listeners here are fans of soccer. When you finish high on the table, you get more money to spend. You get greater flexibility. That's their payoff in soccer. I would love to see the NBA have a cap, tax, apron variance for teams that dare to win. So teams that win, even where the Celtics were, don't have to worry about paying Tatum and paying Jaylen Brown and keeping their team together. It was a fun team. I would like to have seen it together. I would like the NBA to say, whoever wins this NBA Finals, you get enough tax variance that you can bring your players back and stay under the tax. That'll motivate you to win instead of the other way around. But the sort of executioner was coming for the Thunder. They're coming for the Pacers because of this. And I agree. Yes, it's nice in the markets. Indiana can celebrate. Oklahoma City can celebrate.
Yeah.
But television ratings aren't going to celebrate. And the NBA can say, hey, we've got a new 5 or 6 year deal. We're going to Prime. We got all these places we're taking care of. And they're right. But the casual fan, people like my mom, people like General want to say, okay, who am I watching here? Who are these people? I haven't seen them all year. And part of the problem also is this. The way ESPN has promoted the game, they've only talked about the Lakers and talked about the Celtics and talked about the Knicks all year. And now they're telling you, you have to watch our finals. You have to watch. Well, you haven't celebrated the success of these other teams. So this is the payoff you're getting. This is the price for all that. But I do think there should be a cap, an apron, and tax variance for teams that win. Teams that win deserve to be able to keep winning. It should not be the first story at the end of the finals. Who are we going to cut? What has to change now? Who do we have to let go? It should be, hey, We have a free pass to continue because we did it the right way and we built the right way. That's how I think you fix all of this.
I like that. And in hockey, they do that too in a way, not the same, but like when you're loaded and you lose a big player, they allow you to replace that salary with another player that you can trade for. And then obviously you have a price to pay. You have a price to pay in the offseason because you're going to have to cut somebody because you're overloaded. But
and even in baseball and hockey and football, when you lose a player in free agency, you get compensatory picks. So there is a means in other sports to sort of take care of you where you can work around that instead. I'd like to see the NBA move in that direction. I do agree.
I like that because I know that I'm going to watch it, but people like us, we're going to watch I know the Heat aren't going anywhere and I watch them every night. I don't care. Right. I love my Heat, and I love basketball. So I'm going to watch. Hell, I love WNBA basketball, dude. I watch WNBA basketball religiously. So for me, I love basketball. So I'm good. I'm going to watch, but I am worried about the ratings and people on the side because it's not a sexy matchup, and I feel great for those cities. But it's just kind of a system that you're eliminating the super teams. I think the super teams are really sexy, especially in basketball. Out of all sports, basketball is the one that really...
Only 5 guys were on the court at the same time, where stars made more, where they don't wear helmets and you see the players and you can absorb the personalities, and then the personalities are gone. I agree.
By the way, those New York fans, they're such intelligent fans, and they celebrated just a regular playoff win like they... like the second coming, it was there. It was amazing.
You remember, Big O, go back far enough. Remember when the Heat played the Knicks in the playoffs and they won one playoff game with Carmelo and they dropped confetti at the Garden, even though they lost that first round series? You talk about desperate teams and desperate times. I never thought in my career, after all the Heat and Knicks contretemps and kerfuffles, I would feel sorry for the Knicks. I got to tell you, I felt a little bad for the Knicks when that series was over because the expectations level were so high and they poured everything into it and they traded 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges and they went all in on a player like Karl Anthony Towns, who we know at the moments of truth would go soft. We just knew that would happen, and they were shocked. Wait a minute, Karl Anthony Towns can't play defense? What a shock. Who would have figured that? So you know what? They got some of the payback for some of the arrogance. I agree.
Yeah, throwing the trash at the Halliburton kid. What was the other thing that they did that was
tormenting Windhorst and throwing things at him when he gave a candid opinion on the series and where it was headed?
By the way, God bless Windhorst, because he even continued with, well, I don't think those were Knicks fans. When he knows those were Knicks fans, obviously, because a normal person isn't going to bother Brian Windhorst. A Knicks fan, of course, is. And he stayed classy all the way to the end.
Yes, he did.
But what they did to Brian was disgusting, dude.
No, absolutely. And I fell for him, and I texted him. And again, the difference with Brian is he doesn't make himself the personality. He reports the news. He's not Kendrick Perkins. He's not their screamers. He's not screaming A. He's the guy who does it. He deserves better. But you know what? Every place has fans like that, and it is a shame, and it was absolutely awful.
Karma, baby. Karma. That's what happened in New York. Karma. Maybe you want to treat people decently, throwing garbage at a kid wearing a Halliburton shirt and all that. Now this is what happens to you people.
Now enjoy your TV time,
Exactly. Enjoy your TV time. What are you working on the Sentinel so folks can check
Well, in today's paper, I had a story about, of all people, Thomas Bryant's going to the NBA Finals as a rotation player. Who the hell would have seen that coming? Good for him. No one waved a towel as well for a year and a half in Miami as Thomas Bryant, and then seeing James Johnson on the court at the finish the other day also against New York. 2 good guys who really were team-first guys, so I really feel happy for them. In my Ask Ira today, I wrote about with Chris Quinn not getting the job in Phoenix. It's really interesting. Erik Spoelstra is a great coach, and he's had a great staff. But the guys he's produced on his staff, this is not like Riley's lineage with Jeff Van Gundy and Stan Van Gundy and even Erik Spoelstra and coaches like that. David Fizdale had a couple of jobs in New York and Memphis, never really worked out.
The guy that went to Portland 2 years ago, long time ago. Somebody went to Portland. I forgot which assistant that we had in Portland for a long time. I forgot his name, but go ahead.
Not really sure there. Juwan Howard went to Michigan, had a good run for a while. Then it went south, assistant for the Nets now. So we're still waiting for sort of that one former Spoelstra assistant to move off his coaching tree. It looks like the Heat coaching staff, Lemaine, pretty stagnant. I would like to see either an offense coordinator or just a change in the offensive approach. Maybe that comes internally. We know one thing about Eric Spoelstra. He studies other coaches. He went out. He studied Chip Kelly's offense. So maybe he'll bring in a little bit more on that aspect.
Okay, well, somebody sent me this, which I had no idea, and I'll run this by you. Sean, do you have that picture of the Spanish Pat Riley? And apparently the Heat are looking at him.
Yeah, he was in town visiting, talking about NBA jobs also. But the reporting out of Spain there for the Spanish national coach might not be as strong as reality. I'm not so sure it wasn't. He's negotiating for a deal for Real Madrid right now. So it might have been playing off of it. I do think Eric Spoelstra talked to people in case Chris Quinn left to keep his options open. So it will be interesting to see what's going to happen on the Heat bench. Right now we know is this, because Sid Powell left for a WNBA job and Eric Glass is going to coach the Summer League team. So pretty much copacetic there.
Okay. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat and subscribe to the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Ira, as always, thank you. Have a fantastic week. Enjoy the NBA Finals.
And I will send my Knicks Eastern Conference Championship t-shirts over to Africa so people have something to wear over there. Thank you, Big O.
You got it, Ira. Acura of Pembroke Pines, baby, 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Tell them that Big O sent you. They'll take care of you, man. Larry Schlossberg, Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone, just some amazing people out there, man. Mike Chan, Jordan Ferber, they handle the service center. We've got the 17th anniversary sale going on right now. And by the way, we still have a few 2024 ZDXs. So if you want to get a little electrified, you can get it for $439 a month, 0% financing for 72 months. By the way, Acura, just so you'll know, born and made here in America. Okay. Just in case, if you were worried about it and, the tariffs and all that kind of stuff, I don't know if you know this, but pretty much every Acura is made here in the United States. So that helps too. Visit our friends at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Go check out the ILX, the RDX, the MDX. You're going to love it at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA Report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's in Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Thank you on Cash App there, Brian Radke. Appreciate you, my brother, as always. Thank you for your generosity and your donation. We appreciate that immensely. Sean Stanley and myself, thank you. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, which, by the way, Bitcoin is making a little bit of a move. We are over $106,000. We're at $106,622. So we are climbing right now. So it's a beautiful thing to be climbing. I like it. How does he pick Tyler Hero over Carter Verhaeghe? I don't think he remembers the first run to the Stanley Cup. Carter Verhaeghe was the guy, not Barkov and not Huberdeau. Was it 4 years ago? It was Verhaeghe that was the man. He was way more clutch than even Barkov. I don't know. I can't help the man. I'm trying to reach Ira for you guys, but I can't help him. I mean, he picked Tyler still over Carter Verhaeghe. He's punishing Verhaeghe because Verhaeghe is on a loaded team. But if the team wasn't as loaded, he would score a hell of a lot more because that's who he is. He's such a money player, dude. God, how can you pick Tyler over Carter Verhaeghe? You can't do that. True Fin fan, thank you, sir, for the super chat. Bam and Tyler are both number 4s. Yeah, I And again, True Fin Fan, thank you for the super chat again. Wow. I would trade, and if you're worried about attendance, Mickey, dude, you're a billionaire. So you have rough attendance for a couple of years. You're a billionaire. You'll have food on the table. You'll be fine. Mansion will go just fine. Everything will be manicured, everything. You'll be good. You'll be making a profit even if people don't show up as much. With the TV deals and everything you guys have, you'll make plenty of money. Are you going to make as much? No. But this is the price you have to pay for mismanaging the team for the last 10 years. Front office and ownership have sucked the last 10 years. It's Spo making them look better than what they are. So if you want to keep doing the same stupid shit, you go ahead. You're not going anywhere. I get it. Some of you fans don't like to hear that because, you don't like the truth. But Corso, thank you for the love in the super chat, sir. Tom Selleck versus Burt Reynolds, battles of the mustaches. I'm going to go Burt on the mustache. Definitely. Okay. Plus, he ended up getting Sally Field. And Sally Fields was an underrated hottie back in those days. Frog had herself one hell of a bootay. And cute as a button. So, yeah. Plus, I remember Sharky's Machine. What was the name of that brunette in Sharky's Machine? Smoke Show. I'm going to go with Burt Reynolds over Tom Selleck, and I'm going to go with Burt Reynolds' mustache over Tom Selleck mustache. Okay? Is that Tom Selleck's mustache reminds me of the cartoon when I was a kid, the one that was cleaning up the street? You remember that? The mustache would go like this, and he'd be cleaning. I don't know what the hell it was from what or whatever, but I just have that image in my head. That's Tom Selleck's stash. It's kind of like that big stash that, like, I don't know. That the old guy with the white hair and does the commercials. He has that kind of that stash, but he adds also everything else. Yeah. Burt Reynolds' stash was like a cool stash. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to go Burt Reynolds' stash, and I'm going to go Burt Reynolds over Tom Selleck. Period. Okay. That's it. Rachel Ward. Boom. Smoke Show and Sharky's Machine. Wow. Good looking woman, man. Good looking woman. Rosendo Verhage also came from Tampa winning a Stanley Cup, so he comes to Florida from a winning organization. I mean, listen, Rosendo, you're preaching to the choir here. How is it that he still goes with Tyler over Verhage? I thought for sure I got him already. He's finally willing to trade Bam. By the way, he didn't also admit that he was wrong about Bam not being a star. Remember how he would always tell me that, and he didn't admit that. He goes, well, okay, I'm with you now on trading Bam and all that. And I'm like, well, okay, fine. But, he's not a star. I think those of you, the star thing with Bam, are we done with that discussion already, finally? Are we done? Are we good with that? He's not a star by no chance whatsoever that Bam's a star. Okay. I hope we're good on that. Because damn, did I take a lot of heat. Nothing makes me happier than watching the Knicks, Jets, Bills lose. I will never kind of feel bad for any of these teams ever. I agree. Rosendo, sad to see TNT after 30 years broadcasting the NBA come to an end, where ESPN, NBC, and Amazon Prime secured rights for the next 11 seasons. Yeah. Plus, I think ESPN will screw up that show. So, To be a winner, you must build your team in the draft. Maybe the Dolphins get that now. Quit overpaying players, team players, other teams' players. Yep. George enjoyed watching New York lose. We all enjoy watching New York lose. It's a beautiful thing. And New Yorkers going crazy after a silly playoff win, tearing up the streets and all that kind of. I mean, you people, you Knicks fans, you're such minor leaguers, bro. Like, you Knicks fans, you are as minor league fans as it gets, dude. You're so pathetic. You can't even handle any little success. You overreact like if you think you've arrived somewhere. Like the whole, you didn't learn from the Jeremy Lin stuff. It's Knicks fans, by the way, may be the silliest group of fans that exist in all of sports. Seriously. I mean, they're pathetic, dude. They are pathetic. They're dumb, too, on top of all of that. They don't even know what a championship team looks like. They don't even know how to act like a really good fan base that supports a good team. Why? Because they're so desperate. They're like a little expansion team fan base. Overreact, like what we did back in the day in the expansion year when we beat the Pistons or the Jazz, that we like went crazy. Absolutely. And the Jazz win, I ran from the second floor out to the arena with my wife on my shoulders. She was my girlfriend then. I was younger, stronger, much more. Now I'd die. I'd break every bone in my body. There's no way I could even lift her, probably. My balls would probably explode the second I lift her up. So, you know, it would be really an ugly scene now. But in 88, you know, I was a different person then. Oh, Knicks fans, you're such minor leaguers, bro. Minor league Knicks fans. You people are pathetic, dude. Grow up. You don't know basketball. That's how bad you people are in New York. You're so pathetic, you don't even know basketball. You don't even know who Karl Anthony Towns really is. Wow. It's funny, pathetic to watch Knicks fans. Some of the dumbest sports fans in the history of mankind. I've never seen a dumber, more overreacting bunch on a team that's, you know, decent. Nothing special, but they think they're special. Because every time they have just a modicum of success, just a tiny bit of success, they feel like they've arrived. Knicks fans clearly are the dumbest sports fans on the planet. I think every fan base is equal overall. They have intelligent fans, they have dumb fans. It doesn't matter how long you've been around or how short or whatever. But Knicks fans nowadays, over the last 25 years, I think they've proven to be the fan base that lacks the most IQ out there. Yeah. There's no doubt. They have no sense of reality whatsoever. And they're just overreacting children. Pathetic Knicks fans. You people are a joke, bro. An absolute freaking joke. Just so you'll know. Okay? Every one of you Knicks fans, you're a complete joke. Fucking buffoons, dude. Anyway, let's talk about Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. Two guys that know how to get it done, unlike the sorry-ass Knicks. 954-966-4646. No Knicks. It's 46-46. Bankruptcy. The Knicks emotionally are bankrupt. Homeowner property damage. MSG got destroyed. Condo damage. Lockers. Give me a break. Criminal defense. Well, it is a crime to even be a Knicks fan. Business owner claims. Commercial litigation. Personal injury. They suffer it all the time with every season. So, even if you're a Knicks fan, you need help, call Welton Rayom. They can help you out. 954-966-4646. They can't save you from being a Knicks fan, but they could save you from some kind of a car accident, homeowner property damage. Maybe you're noticing you got some brown spots on your roof, not in your pants, Knicks fans, in key moments, but I mean on the roof. Maybe there's a leak. They have their own adjusters. They'll send their adjusters, and then they'll call the insurance company. Don't be stupid like a Knicks fan and go call the insurance company. Let Welton Rayom actually do it. Do intelligent things. Don't do stupid things like Knicks fans. Call them, 954-966-4646. Make sure you get the proper protection. You need defense when you walk into that courtroom. Okay? Mr. DeSantis, he gave all the power to the companies, all the insurance companies. So don't be stupid like Knicks fans and go into court and represent yourself. Call Welton Rayom, 954-966-4646. Anyway, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. J.D. Arteaga and the University of Miami advanced to the Super Regionals. I couldn't go to sleep last night until I finished watching the damn game. I did watch. I watched, I'll be honest, I watched the last 3 innings. I didn't watch the first 6 innings. I was watching a movie with the wife and all that, but I was keeping up with the score. And then when the movie was over, I switched over and I watched the game and then I went to sleep. So I was glad that they won. Good for them. That is really cool that they advanced to Super Regionals. And, you know, J.D. Arteaga doesn't have an easy situation there, and pretty cool stuff to overcome and get there. So congratulations to him and the University of Miami advancing. Tomorrow night on TNT at 8 o'clock, it's your Panthers visiting the Oilers for Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. And yesterday, Barkov received the King Clancy and Selke trophies, which, of course, goes for the top defender. And the King Clancy is for showing leadership on and off the ice, and obviously he does. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Thursday, we've got the NBA Finals, and the Knicks are not there. It's the Indiana Pacers taking on OKC, 8:30 tip. OKC favored by 9. Over and under is 231. Indy is plus 320 on the money line for Game 1, and OKC is minus 410 on the money line. It's almost like just throw a couple bucks on Indy just for the hell of it, because to play OKC on the money line minus 410 is not even worth it. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. I know OKC should win and all that, but what the hell, right? Anyway, that is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. Call my guy Alan Blanco for custom printing and embroidery. And by the way, if you're also got a get together for your school, your business or something, you're going on some kind of a field trip or something, and you need, you want to order 50, 100, 200 shirts with your logo and all that kind of stuff, you can do that. We've had some businesses do that. And make sure you reach out to my guy, Alan Blanco. That's his cell phone right there, 786-618-1443. They can get that done anywhere for you and ship it out to you right away. True Fin fan, where do you rank Elway? I have him top 5, definitely top 5. Oh yeah, dude, for sure. Yeah, no doubt. Elway was special, man. He was special because he could not only run around, and not only did he have a gun, but he was accurate, dude. And he did his best in the early years, but he didn't have a team. Kind of reminds you of what's going on now and what went on with Marino. And, you can have a passer, but if you don't have a team, they can do only so much. And then After that, you're going to have to run. You're going to have to protect. You're going to have to defend. And they didn't have that, and he would get killed, And then finally, they got him a running game. Not Sammy Winder. No. They got him Terrell Davis, and they got him a monster offensive line, and they got him a great, one of the better defenses in the last 30 years, and 2 Super Bowls. It helps to have a team, dude. Always a perfect example. He would go to the Super Bowl and lose 55-10. He would lose in embarrassing fashion to Washington or Dallas, or his team could not hang. Those teams were loaded, and his team just was not anything. And he was special, but so special that he could do some stuff offensively, but he was never going to win. And guess what he was labeled? A true fan, choker. Oh, John Elway's a choker. It's not that he was a choker, dude. It's that he didn't have a team. And then when you gave him a team, he was unstoppable. There's a lot of quarterbacks like that. A lot of quarterbacks. Steve Bartkowski's career would have been completely different, and Archie Manning's career would have been completely different if you actually gave him teams. Dan Marino's career wouldn't have just been about stats. He actually would have had legit wins, like real things that happened to him on the field. He didn't win anything significant. Just an AFC once. That's it. And then just to get embarrassed in the Super Bowl because, the AFC was weak, so you can get through the AFC. But the NFC was the conference for many years during that time, and they were never even close. And Elway had the same stigma on him, and it was unfair. But some have learned, others haven't, that you need a team. It's not the quarterback. We still have idiots that go, well, yeah, no, Tua can't carry us to championship. No quarterback carries you to a championship, you idiots. No quarterback carries you to championship. If there was a quarterback that could carry you to a championship, his name would be John Elway. That's exactly the guy. When you talk about the perfect specimen, John Elway. John Elway. He could run, but he didn't use it for a weapon because he could pass the hell out of the ball, and he was accurate. He has what Lamar can't do. John Elway can put the ball anywhere he wants. So, it's a great name to bring up. Not only his greatness, but the first part of his career, how it was mislabeled his success. Choker. He wasn't a choker. He didn't have a team. And then when he had a team, he was able to walk off into the sunset on the highest note of all. Good for him. Good for him. Let's see. Wilford Brimley. That's the guy with the same stash that Selleck has. Exactly. Thank you, Manolo. Appreciate you. Wilford Brimley, walrus mustache starting. Yes, in Cocoon. Exactly. Very good. Very good. Very good. Brett says, I always like Snidely Whiplash's villain mustaches from Rocky and Bullwinkle cartoon, kind of like Lee Van Cleef. Lee Van Cleef. Wow. Wasn't he in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly? Was he the bad? Was Lee Van Cleef the bad? I know he wasn't the ugly. I think he was the bad. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. That's stuff from my child stage. Big O, do you think Tyreek is trying to get traded by his behavior? No, his behavior is that he's just a moron. That's all. He'll get traded, dude. He'll get traded because it'll be a bad season. And if he doesn't get in any trouble, which is hard to believe, but if he doesn't get in any trouble by the trading deadline during the regular season, they'll trade him. Because then at that point, the season's over. you're going to release him anyways at the end of the year. So you'll take whatever hit is left at that point. But for now, they have to keep him. They have no choice. The cap hit would be crushing. And then that would really be like, okay, you're really not trying to compete. So the last basketball game I watched, MJ's last game with the Bulls. Wow. Okay. I brought up Elway for that very reason. He is not the perfect example of what can be and what happens when you build the right team. Great regardless, but they helped him win. Oh, for sure. For sure. But that's not how it was. Nah, he's a choker. Yes, Lee Van Cleef was in the good, the bad, and the ugly as the bad, which he portrayed so well. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. The good was Eastwood. The ugly was the scruffy Mexican-looking guy, right? If I remember, I don't know the guy's name, but if I remember correctly, it was like a scruffy-looking dude, right? I mean, they're all kind of scruffy-looking in the West, but this guy was extra dirty compared to the other guys. Okay, he was just like the pig pen out of the Peanuts, you know. Sorry. Eli Wallach. There you go. Eli Wallach. That was him. Thank you. Thank you, Rosendo and Alan. I appreciate you guys always having my back. Thank you. Very kind. Dolphins wise. Since somebody brought it up, I think I'll talk about it now. You know what's going on right now with the Dolphins, and we've talked about it, and we've talked about how this is not a season where they're not investing to win. They didn't put any urgency in this offseason. You know it. I know it. Okay? They did things like Chris Greer did things like he was comfortable. Like his job was safe. You know it, and I know it. He didn't spend. He didn't mortgage the future. He didn't trade extra picks. In fact, he traded a pick this year to become a better pick next year. Super responsible. It was an incredibly responsible offseason. But at the same time, you have a coach that is supposedly trying to save his job. And this is the worst team that Mike McDaniel has had in his tenure. And he's not a good coach. So this doesn't bode well. And at the end of the year, we could have people that are happy. We could have people that are super pissed. Happy because they cleaned house. Pissed because they only fired McDaniel or kept Greer. Not for me. I'll be fine with that. But I'm way in the minority on that. And that's fine. I'm used to that. That's good. But here's what I got to warn you. And I'm going to warn the Dolphins. I'm going to warn the owner. This reset or step back this year or whatever it is, I believe this is a transition year. I believe above they're done with McDaniel, and he's going to sink or swim with whatever he has. And if he sinks, they'll fire him and they'll put Weaver in. That's what I believe. But let me give you a scenario that may not happen, that will leave you pissed off, okay, and frustrated. What if Greer is safe? Well, some of you at least. What if Greer is safe and McDaniel is safe? And yet you have a terrible year and they're like, well, you know, we feel we were on the right track, but we wanted to reset this year to then restart next year. And they bring back McDaniel. Fan base would revolt. I don't think a lot of people, I know I won't be happy. I know Chris Greer can find talent because I've watched a lot of talent come through here in the last 5-6 years. So I know the whole coaching thing has not gone well. I'm willing to kind of try to fix that part and keep him because that's half the battle, finding talent. But if somehow or another the owner is willing to take a step back and not listening to any of the criticism out there from the media, the fans, whatever, and you bring back McDaniel after another year of not – I get if you bring back McDaniel, they go to the playoffs and they win a game, you got to bring McDaniel back. I mean, he had a lesser team and he achieved more. Now you've got something. Now you can't fire the guy. But if he has a disastrous year, you only win 5, 7, 9 games, whatever, and you don't get into the playoffs, whatever, and then you bring him back. I think some people will hate bringing Chris Greer back, but at least you might be able to live with that if you're getting a different coach. And if Weaver does well, maybe people can deal with that. Some of you won't. I get it. But if you bring back Greer and McDaniel and you treat it like, well, you tell, hey, folks, we had to take kind of a reset and now we're reinvesting again this year and we're moving forward with McDaniel, that would be, I think a lot of fans would kind of dump the team at that point. I think the revolt, I think the disgust would be at an all-time high. That's why I'm convinced that they gave him the contract, McDaniel. They realized they screwed up throughout the offseason as everything's developed. They've realized the malaise that's in that building and in the locker room. They didn't see it before. It's funny because I've talked to several people in the building. I've told you, and they don't believe in the guy. At all levels. Scouts, front office, players, trainers. I've heard from all kinds of people in that building. Like, they know what's going on. Like, they know he's not the guy. And yet, the people above have kept him. Why? So this year has to be about transition. Can you imagine trying to bring that guy back? There's no way. Players don't want to play for the guy. People are defecting. Jonnu Smith and Drew Rosenhaus have taken completely the high road. Oh, yeah, he wants to stay here and he wants a new deal. Bro, he's basically telling you, I'm 29 and I'm not going to take the field with this contract for that shitty coach for 1 year. We're not going anywhere. You better pay my ass if you want to keep me here. Because this is not about winning anymore. It's about getting paid for them. Because they don't see winning. So the only thing they need to win in is in the bank account. So this year better be about transition. Unless McDaniel does something that, well, most of us with a brain don't expect. I get it. Some of you out there, you're blind hopefuls and all that and, whatever. This better be a year where you transition into Weaver. Because you know why? You're going to lose Weaver in the offseason. And whatever candidate comes next, it's not going to be better than Weaver. I think Weaver might be the best candidate they've had walk into that building in well over 2 decades. How do you like them apples? I'll go out on a limb and say that guy I think he's better than the guys we've had here for a long time. Don't let him go. Don't let him go. Take it easy. Keep control. Okay. All right. By the way, Bitcoin is 106,771. So we are on the move. 785. We are on the move. Move. 801. We are on the move. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. It's always good when you're on the move. So Bitcoin's up 2%. Solana's up 6%. Caspa's up 5.5%. Star Atlas, the Polis, is up 10%. I like that. Pendle up 5%. All right. Very good. Very good. I like it. At least we got some movement. How is the market doing right now? It is up 125 points. The Dow is up 125. The S&P is up 24.5 points. And the NASDAQ is barely down. Barely down. So, got that going on. By the way, David Furonis will join us tomorrow since we got mini camps going on. We'll get him tomorrow. And there's really not a lot going on anyways on the Dolphin side, so I don't mind. How much do you think Caspa will get up to? Big Johnson, I'm not sure, but I think we'll bust a buck in this bull run. But it's not about just this bull run for me. It's about the next few years. You know, I'm holding it long term where I think it's going to grow to several dollars. So, yeah, in the short term, I think you can get to $1. But I think in the long term, we're going to get to several dollars. So for me, I'm not looking to get out right away. It's not why I invested. Usually I invest because I know I'm going to be in it for a few years. So I'm not looking to get out. Now, will you make a profit? Yeah, there's no doubt, dude. I'm already in profit right now. But that's, not what I'm looking for. So, yeah, I don't have a ton of money. So I have to, whatever I invest, I have to give it time in order for it to actually grow into something. You know what I'm saying? So for those of you that have big money, well, you can turn around and make quicker money than I can. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I'm not the one that's going to tell you because they've got to get the smart contracts that'll come in this summer. And then when the total value lock starts coming in, when all that money starts coming in, that's when you'll see Caspa go up. But it's going to shoot 3 or 4x right now, I think, once we get on Coinbase, OKC, Crypto.com, and Binance. When it gets on the 4 largest exchanges in the world, that alone is going to 3-4x it. That alone. Because a lot of people haven't bought it because they don't even know about it. They don't know where to get it. Shit like that. They don't know anything about Uphold. Very few people know about Uphold. So, unless you're a hardcore crypto person, those are the only people that know about Uphold. But the average person does not know. They've heard of Binance, maybe Crypto.com, Coinbase for sure, but they don't know anything about Uphold. So it's just one of those where it hasn't gone around yet. And when it gets into those exchanges, then all of a sudden everyone has access to it. And then that's when, as always, anything that gets listed on Coinbase and Binance, it explodes. It explodes. And I showed you, were you watching the show earlier? Who asked that? Big Johnson, did you watch the show earlier that I showed the Coinbase guy? For those of you that weren't watching, since here I'll do it for you, Big Johnson, because you are super committed to us here. You are one of the reasons why I do the platform. This is the Coinbase director, and Coinbase and Caspa's not on Coinbase. He put this out 2 days ago. If you're looking for a completely decentralized project, Caspa is the future. and it's not on their platform. And he's promoting it already because they've already bought a ton. They own a ton of Caspa, and they're going to sell it. So problem is they haven't been on Coinbase and on Binance and all that because 99% of coins buy their way onto exchanges. They give them coins to sell right away. They give them a present of 100,000, 500,000 coins, 1 million, 10 million, whatever. And then that they start making money from there as an exchange. And then they end up then buying more and selling and buying more and selling and all that kind of stuff like they do. But with Caspa or Bitcoin, they don't buy their way onto any exchanges. The exchanges have to buy it in order to sell it. The exchanges will have to mine it in order to sell it. You want it, you need to buy it or mine it. Nobody's going to give you Caspa. Nobody's going to give you Bitcoin. You better buy it or mine it. That's how you get Bitcoin. You buy it or mine it. It's kind of the way it goes. You know what I mean? It's just there's no CEO in Caspa. There's no CEO in Bitcoin. There's a CEO in Ethereum. There's a CEO for Sui. There's a CEO for Solana. There's no CEO. That's why it's purely decentralized. That's why the Coinbase guy says if you want something that's truly decentralized, it's Caspa. Because it's only Bitcoin and Caspa are the only truly decentralized cryptos. So, I'm sorry, Bitcoin and Caspa aren't crypto. Crypto is usually not decentralized. Sui proved that the other day when they were able to freeze assets, So it's kind of proven all the time. Solana, their nodes, they run most of the nodes themselves. They're not decentralized. So it just, it's something that you got to follow and understand. It's this whole world. You guys, this is a completely different language for everybody nowadays, like it was for me. Okay. And then eventually, once you start learning and understanding, because it is the future, then it'll become second nature to you. And then you'll understand all this stuff that I'm talking about. Right now, it's just gibberish, at this point. By the way, Wang Chung and Men Without Hats are coming to the Parker Thursday, October 16th. I'm going to take the wife. She's already seen Wang Chung with me, and she loved it. Wang Chung live is fantastic. Can I tell you Men Without Hats is awesome too? I know you just think of the safety dance, but they actually have a few more songs. And when you see them in concert, they're actually really good, dude. I saw them in Dania Beach. I wish Dania Beach would have more concerts. They had that venue there where the Highlight was. That venue for concerts is fantastic, actually. Sometimes they have a lot of what's that called? Those tribute bands, like that's what they do a lot there. But every once in a while, I have real concerts. And Men Without Hats, I saw them there with, who was the other band that I saw them with? But it was really good. It blew me away. I was like, wow, dude, Men Without Hats was really, really good. They opened for somebody else that was bigger than them. I forgot who it was now. But it was a good show. Good show. So just in case, they actually have another song that you might know that was a hit besides Safety Dance. But then when you hear the rest of their catalog, you're actually going to like it. They're really good in concert. I wasn't going for Men Without Hats the last time I went. I forgot. I keep forgetting who the lead was. But I was going specifically for that person, for that band. And then I saw Men Without Hats, and I was like, all right, I know the Safety Dance. And after everything, I was like, wow, they were better than I ever even expected. Kind of blew me away. It's caught by surprise on that one. Let's do a little music. Since I mentioned that, we got Metallica Friday and Sunday. I got Peter Hook next week here in at the band shell in Miami Beach. Looking forward to that. All right, let's do birthdays on June 3rd. Let's start with musicians celebrating birthdays today. Pretty Ricky. Tavion LaCorey Mathis, singer with the hip-hop group Pretty Ricky. Born in 1985. Kelly Jones, vocalist, guitarist from the Welsh band Stereophonics, born in 74. Samantha Sprackling, the singer with Republica, Ready to Go. It's like that song is like in every arena. It's a killer song, by the way. It does pump you up. It's a great song for sports. It really is. Gotta give him credit. Mike Gordon, by the way, banjo, bass player, piano, harmonica, percussion with Fish, born in 65. Kerry King, NorCal, your boy, Kerry King's birthday today. You might want to reach out to him and send him a little happy birthday, my brother. Born in 64 on this date. Of course, the guitarist was Slayer. El DeBarge, singer, born in 1961, In the Rhythm of the Night. Danny Wilde, singer with the Rembrandts, born in 1956. Let's see who else is celebrating birthdays. Billy Powell, legend, baby, keyboardist with Leonard Skinnard, born in 1952. We lost him in 2009 to a heart attack, unfortunately. The great Denise Williams. Let's hear it for the boy. Born in 1951. Singer. The best song with her and Johnny Mathis is Too Much, Too Little, Too Late to Ever Start Again. Oh, man. Her voice, her falsetto, it's just, wow. Denise Williams. Whew. Susie Quattro, Leather Tuscadero. I don't know if you guys knew that, but in Happy Days, there was a Pinky Tuscadero that Fonzie was with, and then Pinky had a sister. The sister was Leather Tuscadero. That was Susie Quattro. Let's see what else. Mickey Finn from T-Rex, born in 47. Michael Clark, drummer with the Flying Burritos and the Byrds, born in 43. The great Curtis Mayfield, baby, singer, songwriter, guitarist, producer, born in 42. Moving on up. Ian Hunter, Mott the Hoople, All the Young Dudes, born in 1939. And Eddie Willis. He performed on many hits, including Mr. Postman with the Marvelettes, The Way You Do Things, The Way You Do by the Temptations, You Keep Me Hanging On by the Supremes, I Was Made to Love Her by Stevie Wonder. He died at the age of 82 in 2018. Played guitar, occasional electric sitar, just a studio monster musician that was part of a lot of great music in history. And that is musicians. Let's go with other famous people celebrating birthdays. Remember, if I just give the year they were born and no age, that means they have passed away, unfortunately. All right, we start off with British King George V, born in 1865. Actor Tony Curtis, born in 1925. Poet Allen Ginsberg, born in 1926. Jill Biden, former First Lady, born in 51. She's 74. Let's see. Actor James Purefoy, born in 64. He's 61. Anderson Cooper, journalist, born in 67. He's 58. Rafael Nadal, born in 86. He's 39. Ann Winters, actor, born 94, 31. Actor Louis Partridge, born in 2003. Damn, I'm old, 22. That's famous people. All right, Sean Stanley, you got any wrestlers for us?
Yes, sir. Jade Cargill, she turns 33. Red Velvet also turns 33. And
Like
the Blade.
Like the cake, Red Velvet?
Yep, just like the cake. She's actually from down here. She was trained down here and she made it to AEW. The Blade is 45. Those are your birthdays for June 3rd, 2025.
Well, happy birthday to Wesley Snipes. That's not the Blade you're talking about?
Not the Blade I'm talking about.
He wrestles with vampires.
No, he fights with vampires.
And he kind of wrestles with them too. Then he stabs them and they disappear.
Actually, Triple H was in one of the Blade movies. So, yes, you're right.
Happy birthday, Wesley Snipes, or happy wrestling. Let's go with music history. What happened today in music history? In 74, Paul McCartney and Wings had the number one song in the country with Band on the Run. In 72, Jethro Tull started a 2-week run on the album charts with Thick as a Brick. Let's see, in 1970, Deep Purple released Deep Purple in Rock, their fourth studio album and the first with Mark II lineup of Richie Blackmore, John Lord, Ian Pace, Ian Gillan, and Roger Glover. Let's see, 2004, Creed guitarist Mark Tremonti, drummer Scott Phillips told MTV that the band broke up after personal issues arose with singer Scott Stapp. In 70, the Kinks' Ray Davies changed the word Coca-Cola in the song to Lola, to Cherry Cola, to qualify for airplay on the non-commercial BBC. L-O-L-A, Lola. I still love, is it called Paranoid? No, Destroyer. The song Destroyer from the Kinks. That's my favorite song of theirs. I mean, they got a bunch of good songs. Unfortunately, that is one of my regrets. I never got to see the Kinks live, so I lose there big time. I wish I would have seen the Davies Boys. But Destroyer, my God, what a great song. What a fantastic song that was. So well produced. So good. Anyway, in 94, Pearl Jam singer Eddie Vedder married his longtime girlfriend, Beth Liebling. They would divorce 6 years later. In 67, Jefferson Airplane appeared on American Bandstand and performed White Rabbit and Somebody to Love. In 06, for the second week in a row, the Red Hot Chili Peppers had the number one album in the country with Stadium Arcadium. The record also topped the charts in the UK. And that's what happened today in Musica history. It's a beautiful thing. And Bitcoin at 106,763. It's a beautiful thing. Remember Cash App or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum or even Solana and Chainlink donations on Venmo. But you can make it on Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And remember, you can also send it in by PayPal for those of you that are out of the country. And we always appreciate that too. Okay? Because I know you guys don't have access to Cash App or Venmo. So those out of the country will use PayPal, and we appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Very appreciated. What else do we have going on? How was that Marlins attendance yesterday? Was there really 5,000 people there, Sean? I mean, I didn't watch the game because I never watch the games. But I saw on social media, is it like some young man from like Pinstripes, I think it's called, or something, that he covers the Marlins? It came up on my timeline. And I saw it, and it was like the place was empty, dude. Pathetic. Why do they allow owners like this in sports? If you don't have enough money to own a team, you shouldn't be allowed to own one. And Bruce Sherman doesn't have the money to own a team, to play with the big boys. Jorge Mas, he's got more than enough money. He can hang at any table, any poker game, anything. The Mas brothers can be anywhere they feel like it. You had your chance, and you chose a broke-ass owner. Only baseball chooses broke-ass owners, like Loria, like Sherman, like the clowns that own the A's, the clowns that own the Pittsburgh Pirates. You got to have billionaires, people that are willing to spend money. Just amazing, dude. What a shame. Because we got a beautiful stadium. We've got fans that want to be fans. I want to be a fan, but I'm not supporting this. These people don't care. They're not trying to win. Who are we kidding here? It's disgusting, to be quite honest. Yes, sir.
Paid attendance, 5,894.
Yeah, those are the tickets. Like Ira said, those are the tickets sold. Those are your season ticket holders. And they didn't show up either. There wasn't 5,000 there. There was like 500 people there maybe. And you lost.
And with that paid attendance, that's still only 16% of that stadium.
That's crazy. What do we have here? Newark Mayor. Some breaking news. Newark Mayor Ross Baraka has filed a lawsuit against interim U.S. Attorney, District, New Jersey. Whatever. Anyway, nothing major. Whatever. Big O, help me. Make a food choice for the Stanley Cup Game 1. Chick-fil-A, a Pickup Sports Grill, Flanagan's, or steak teriyaki from Akashi. I don't know anything about Akashi, so they're out. So I can't talk about something I don't know. If I'm going wings, I go Sports Grill. If I'm going ribs, I'm going Flanagan's. And Chick-fil-A is out. I mean, once you bring up Sports Grill and Flanagan's, why would I even think of Chick-fil-A? So I'm going to have my wings at Sports Grill. I'm going to get my ribs from Flanagan's. What are you in the mood for? That's what I would say. Okay. By the way, second time I've been there. Okay. These people are out of control. Their food is ridiculous. It's on Kendall Drive and 120th. It's on the other side of the turnpike, the west side of the turnpike, where the movie theaters are at, where Bahama Breeze is at, right? Right by the movie theaters. There used to be a silver building there, and it used to be called the Diner and then something else. Now it's called Mission Barbecue. They don't have a sign on there that says it. But trust me, the lines are constant. The vibe is great inside. It's really cool. They play records, rock, country, whatever, all kinds of stuff. Their barbecue is off the effing chain. They started as a food truck or some shit like that, and they've grown and they're out of control. Okay. And let me tell you something. The place is loaded. So you go and be prepared to wait, 20, 30, 40 minutes for a table, but it is well worth it. We had to wait, I think 20 minutes this time on Saturday. We went over to a Mission Barbecue. If you want to have some amazing barbecue, dude, I had the pulled pork on Saturday. I had the brisket the first time around. Wow. I'm going to have the ribs next. Okay. So I'm just telling you, Mission Barbecue. If you happen to live in the area, or if you're close by that you want to go out on Friday or Saturday or Sunday or something, and you want to take, your special someone to somewhere to eat, and you don't mind driving right off the Turnpike and Kendall Drive, right there, dude. You get off and it's right on the west side. Mission Barbecue. Okay. They're not a sponsor. They don't need to be a sponsor. They don't need any business. They got plenty of business, but they don't pay me for this or anything. I'm just telling you, if something's good, I'll tell you. And I won't back anything that isn't good anyway. Whether it's a sponsor or not. If it's not good, I'm not backing it. So, like Caneswear, I know they're the best. Go see them and use our code BIG010, get 10% off. But wow, dude, some good barbecue, dude. So I don't know where you live, but if you live close, go get yourself some Mission. Oh, and by the way, I tried the cornbread. They make fresh cornbread there. Really good. And it comes in a skull because that's their logo. It's a skull. So the cornbread is a skull. It's pretty cool. And the cornbread is freaking delicious. As the kids would say, it's delish. Okay? It's delish. So go check it out. Mission Barbecue. Let's see. What else do we have? Gus sends me a tweet. Yep, Jaguars receiver Gabe Davis scheduled to visit Pittsburgh Wednesday. Good for him. And the Steelers Thursday. So, what are you going to do? By the way, it is day 18,726 since the Miami Dolphins lifted the Lombardi Trophy. Only 18,726 days. Just like yesterday. Some of you haven't even been born that long. Just for, as they say, shits and giggles, out of all the people watching right now, okay, do me a favor. How many of you weren't born when the Dolphins won the Super Bowls? Just out of curiosity. Just out of the, 82 right now that are watching? Bunch have dropped off. Please hit the like button too before you go. You got us over 100. Very nice. Thank you. How many of you weren't around? Just out of curiosity, because I would imagine it's most of you. This kind of sucks. Skylar says, I wasn't born. AWOL says, I wasn't. AWOL Sacktown. Ted Orlando, I will be 50 this summer. So, yeah, he wasn't around. I was born in 77. Look at that. Says TJ Superman. Ted says, I was not. AWOL was born in 93. He didn't even get to see, like, the height of Marino either, unfortunately. Rosendo was around. Stephen Harris was around. Lenny Pena, born in 77. George G, born in 86. He says, tremenda mierda, most of my life. Yeah, unfortunately, George G. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. One day, my brother. One day they'll figure it out, man. I don't know when. It's not right now, that's for sure. 69 for Tremonti. So, like, he was really young. Like, at least I was 7 and 8, and I was watching it, but, not really appreciating it. So, yeah. Allen, he was there. Steven, 84. True Fin fan, I was not alive in those days, born in 78. Adrian Cardona, born in 81. Allen was there. He was born in 61. Pat in Asheville, born in 71, so he's a little younger than I am, so he didn't really get to enjoy it even as a child like me. 7 and 8. Again, I didn't really enjoy it like I would as a teenager or a man or whatever. You know what I mean? I remember watching with my dad, but I come on, dude. You're 7 and 8 in the 70s. You're pretty remedial, especially in sports. What else? I wasn't born till 76, says Michael Austin. I mean, this is terrible. Gus 1388 says 77. Jeff in Long Island was born in 68, but he's just a little like he was 5 years old for 6 years old for that first championship. So he might have maybe some kind of a distant memory or something, but not really an understanding. Like I have memories, but really at 7 and 8, come on, dude. You don't really get to understand and enjoy. You're just giving fives to your dad and stuff and all that. You're just happy because you're celebrating with your dad and he's happy when you're a 7 or 8 year old. That's all. It's just those moments that you are able to bond with your dad. And for me, as a guy that lost my dad when I was like freaking 18 years old, 25 years old, kind of got his death sentence when he was 18 is what I meant by kind of knew he was checking out at 18 and lasted till 25. Anyway, scariest thing too, by the way, somebody's going to die when you're 18 years old and then you're just waiting for it. It's the worst. It's the worst. But for me, at least, those are moments that I can remember of bonding with my dad, since I lost him at such a young age. So it sucks that so many of you, weren't around for any of this. Alan says played basketball in the courts behind the Orange Bowl in 72. See? So he was around. Skylar says, damn, most of us haven't seen this last Super, right? Yeah. That's it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And you all deserve so much better because our fan base is so awesome. So awesome. We used to get a bad rap as a fan base. The best thing that's ever happened to me in this business is the internet. Because the internet allowed me to connect with fans all over the world. And then I got to meet people, and then live I get to meet people and all that kind of stuff. And it's when you really get a sense of how strong our fan base is. Most NFL teams don't have the amount of bars that we have all over the world. There aren't Jets bars all over the world. There aren't even Patriots bars all over the world like there is Dolphin bars. And they won a bunch of championships. But, it's crazy how great our fan base is. You people deserve so much better. So much better, dude. It's really disgusting how they let us down. By the way, there it is, the QR code. We got the NHL Stanley Cup final starting tomorrow. We've got the NBA final starting on Thursday. And at Hialeah Park, you can get $100 no regret first bet. So log on. If you already have a Hard Rock account, use a different phone number or email. Go through this QR code here or go through the Hialeah website. Open your account with a different email or phone number if you have a Hard Rock account. Make your bet, and you're going to get $100. And then that way you can make a bet on the Panthers or, Indy or OKC, whatever it is that you're looking to bet. Props, you name it. Okay? Inter Miami, whatever. All kinds of stuff to wager on. You can do that right there on our Hialeah app. So check it out and get your $100 no regret first bet. But you got to use that QR code in order to get the $100 no regret first bet. Okay? Use the QR code and you're in. If you go straight through the website, I don't think you'll get it. But if you use our QR code here, and if you're listening, find the show on YouTube, and then you got to go to the 2-hour mark of the show, and you'll see it and use the QR code. I know he's probably put up the Hialeah board at another time or whatever, but at least in the 2-hour mark, it's there. So there you go. Neil God. Let's see what else. No wonder we live. Pat in Nashville. My B day was yesterday. My fellow. Yep. Happy birthday to Pat. Did you go to the concert, by the way, yesterday for your birthday? Did you go to the concert finally? Did you go to Peter Hook? What happened? Give me the skinny. Was it yesterday or is it today? Now I'm confused. I know there was two of them in North Carolina. I don't know. Did you go? Give me the skinny, bro, because I know you got tickets for your birthday to go to see Peter Hook. So is it today or is it tomorrow? Oh, it's tonight. Okay, so tonight you're celebrating your birthday there. Okay, so you got to give me the scouting report after tonight. 30 songs, dude. He does not cheat you, and he does deep Joy Division covers. Not covers, songs. Obviously, he helped create that music. So, and the guy he has singing Bernard Summers parts, the higher pitch stuff, he sounds like Bernard. It's actually really good. I've seen the YouTube videos, and I cannot wait till next week to see Peter Hook, man. God. And if anybody's going to the band shell in Miami Beach, I got to tell you, man, there's a part of me that wants to see him the night before. They're in Central Florida, but I just can't. I would do it. My crazy ass would do it. But I cannot wait, dude. I cannot wait to jam some Joy Division and New Order. And what I like about what Peter does is, see, New Order has always pissed me off. I've seen them in concert a couple of times. But the thing that I hate about New Order, that every time I see them, it's a short concert. They don't play a lot of songs. And, you know, when you have a catalog like theirs, when you can play New Order and you can go back and play some Joy Division, come on, man. You can give us an hour and a half, 2 hours easy. And effing Bernard, which it's up to him, he never does. And so that's why him and Peter have just completely parted ways. You know, Peter Hook almost was in the Rolling Stones. I mean, he's a legendary bass player. Anybody that knows Peter Hook knows he's just a freaking monster with the bass. So it's and Peter Hook and the Light, they bring some great energy, man. Can't wait. Cannot wait for that. I mean, this week I get to see Metallica and then I get to see Peter Hook. I am so jacked. So jacked in the next week what I get to see. Metallica again, twice, 2 different shows, 32 different songs, 2 nights. Burns Steakhouse in the middle. And then a few days later, Peter Hook. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Blessings. Those are blessings for a music aficionado like myself. That is a blessing, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute blessing. Metallica is playing. I know that, Ted. I'll be there. I'll be there Friday and Sunday. I've got tickets to go to both. I'll be on the floor. Okay. And if any of you going to Metallica in Tampa on Friday and Sunday, give me a DM, bro. So we can hang, have a beer, meet. Love to meet you. All right. Anybody that supports the show, you know I love hanging out with you all and getting to know you all. So if you get a chance, reach out to me. Would love to get to know you. So there you go. What else? Do we have any other things going on? Bro, picking up on Dania Beach. I'm going to see Pandora's Box, Aerosmith's trivia band. Oh, tribute band next month. There you go. They have a lot of tribute bands there. I know they do that. I've never, are they good? Does the guy do a good Steven Tyler or what? That's pretty cool. Pat in Nashville says he is performing Get Ready Live and Full plus a selection of Joy Division and New Order greatest hits. Yes. It's awesome. You're going to love it. What else do we have? Did anyone hear that Ramsey will have to move to safety? Well, that's an article that's out there that some teams are saying that they think that whoever acquires Ramsey may be better off moving him to safety than corner. Look, in the end, who gives a shit what he plays? He's not playing here. And it's a setback for the team because they can't replace him. Doesn't matter who you buy off the street, not better than what he was leaving. I don't care that he's not like the elite corner anymore or whatever. He's way better than anything that's in free agency and way better than anything we have. So whatever he plays at any other team, I don't give a shit. I don't care if he's the valet. I don't care if he plays center. I don't care if he plays safety. I don't care if he plays corner. I don't care if he's a massage therapist for Deshaun Watson. Whatever. Bottom line is, dude, he's gone. And that is the real issue. What he plays, where he goes, I don't give a shit. Dolphins aren't getting anything worth value in return. You're going to get a late pick. You're going to lose cap space, and you're going to lose an irreplaceable player. That, to me, is the story. You know, not for nothing, but what he ends up doing once he leaves here, I don't care. And I care about the fact that Mike McDaniel has created a terrible atmosphere here. That's what I care about. People don't want to work for Mike McDaniel. People don't believe Mike McDaniel can lead them to winning. Those are the facts. There's nothing else to it. That's the real problem, dude. Let's see, what else do you have? I saw Ringo a few times. The All-Star band that Ringo puts together is legendary, dude. Definitely. Oh, you think McDaniel is gone? Ted, do you listen to the show? Yeah, dude. He's gone by week 10 is my prediction. Sometime in the season, by week 10, he'll be gone. And Weaver takes over. I guess you don't listen to the show normally, like every day or something. But I've already talked about that. This is a transition year. They're going to put Weaver in this place because they will not get Weaver next year. Weaver will go somewhere else and work somewhere else if you let him go. The only way they get to hire Weaver is by firing McDaniel during the season and locking him down. If you wait to the end of the season, you will lose because he'll go somewhere else. So fire him by week 10 because I'm sure things will be awry by then. And then you put Weaver in place. You give him some time to feel the roster out. They get a sense of him, and then you can move forward with him. That's been my whole thing. And, so yeah, I've been saying that for a little bit here now. Jeff says, I just saw Depeche Mode at Jones Beach Theater. Great show. They still put on a great show. The only thing that I don't like is like they do about maybe 8 classics. I'm sorry, Sean, were you going to say something?
No, I was just going to say, I don't think Ted listens all the time because he lets you know Metallica is playing in Tampa this Friday.
Yeah, I can tell he's not an avid listener because, I've been talking about Metallica for months and talking about the Tampa trip the last week or two here. So, yeah, he's probably not an avid listener. But we appreciate it. Hopefully you'll become an avid listener and you can pick up everything. The worst people are the Twitter people. Most of those people don't listen to the show and they want me to repeat everything that I'm saying and ask. And I'm like, bro, just go listen to the show. You don't listen? Too bad, bro. I'm not here to repeat everything for you on Twitter. It's like I say it on the show. The people that listen to the show are the ones that get everything. They get all the nuggets. They get all the insight. They get everything because they listen to everything. They don't just listen to a segment that Sean puts out, an audio or video, and then that's all they listen to. And then, if you don't listen to the whole show, you won't get a lot of the stuff, that we talk about. So it's kind of the way it goes. I can't imagine that he's that unlikable. Seems like lazy players can come here and cash in without having to work too hard. I feel like he's the ideal coach for a good portion of players. Yes, sir. You've nailed it, Ian. The part you're missing is they don't believe in him. So the ones that really want to win, the ones that really care about winning, don't want to be a part of this. Like Calais Campbell. He's going to make his money one way or the other. He was going to go to Baltimore. And then Arizona stepped up and offered a boatload of money. And he couldn't turn it down. But he was going to Baltimore. Money was going to be about the same. And he was going to Baltimore. Why? But then Arizona came and offered practically double of what Baltimore and Miami are offering. And what are you going to do at that point? You got to take the deal, dude. You know what I'm saying? God bless him. But players like Jalen Ramsey, they don't have much time left. Jonnu Smith will not tell you this, but he's telling you this. Like, yo, I need money, bro. If I'm going to spend my 29th year in the world here and one of my, twilight years of my career here, you better pay me, sucker. Defections left and right. So you're right. The lazy player will cash his money, but then the winner wants to get the hell out. It's kind of the way it goes. It's bad. It's bad. Let's see. Big O, I never listened to Avid, whoever he is, but I will try harder. Oh, man. Dolphin Dave says, this is going to be a long season. This is bullshit. Yeah. That's what I thought of the Heat season. And I watched every game. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of the way it goes. It's where we're at right now, unfortunately. Don't forget, folks, the Big Cheese. We love talking about Gary and all the great people out there at the Big Cheese. And, of course, it started with Gary and Billy over 40 years ago, and they are still going strong. The Big Cheese. Go to bigcheesemiami.com. Check out the menu, second to none. That menu is killer, dude. You can have something different for a couple of months. And they're so good, man. They've been at this for a long time. The desserts are to die for. The garlic rolls. You got to start off every meal with those delicious, delectable, to die for garlic rolls with a little pizza sauce on the side to dip, which is beautiful. Tell them that Big O sent you when you go down there with your friends, family members, loved one, whoever it is that you go down there with. Go to 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue and check it out. BigCheeseMiami.com. Pasta delivered from Italy, cooked fresh daily. BigCheeseMiami.com. Oh, by the way, family servings. Okay? It's not like all these other places that they're charging you more and giving you less. No, in the Big Cheese, they give you a lot, and you're probably going to be taking some food home. There's a very good chance you'll be taking some food home. And that's how it's supposed to be at BigCheeseMiami.com, where they do it right, and they've been doing it right forever. Forever. All right. Every time I'm down south, I stop in. Yeah, man, you got to stop at the Big Cheese. Definitely. Every season has been a long one since the Joe Robbie days. Yeah. Yeah, the second half of Shula till now, it's been one disaster after another. Yeah, unfortunately. It's Robin Senline, it's whatever, dude. You name it. It's one thing after another. It's the Sammy Smith and drafting of them and then fumbling against the Oilers twice into the end zone. It's getting your ass handed to you by the Buffalo Bills in the early 90s constantly. It's watching Marino get old with Jimmy and Jimmy. You know, I just thought about this. Wow. You know how screwed up our situation is? We have a quarterback now that we don't build right around him. Because we just don't do it right. We don't build a line and a real running game, and have a defense, and then you'll win everything with Tua. With Marino, Shula tried, and he couldn't build the line you needed, the running game or the defense. But with Jimmy, this son of a bitch purposely destroyed the offense around Dan Marino. He drafted the defense. Think about if he would have kept the offense and then just drafted defense. Because Irving Fryer had 2 massive years in Philadelphia once Jimmy traded him. 2 Pro Bowl years in Philadelphia, which he could have had those 2 Pro Bowl years here with Danny. That's how we don't get anything right, and we're the ones that get screwed every time. You got a defense and Ricky Williams, and you can't get the goddamn quarterback. We have a generational defense, and we just watch it get old. The one good thing Jimmy did was build that defense, and Dave Wannstedt allowed it to get old. It's just weird how everything, whether it's Jimmy, whether it's Shula, whether it's Wannstedt, whether it's now, everything is mishandled. Everything is mishandled. These guys here, you have a quarterback that can do anything you need with the ball, but you've got to do your part. Like we were talking about with John Elway, who, he's way better than Tua, and yet he could not win the big game or any of that because he didn't have the team, and then they gave him the team. We never do. We just don't build anything the right way. Nothing, dude. Nothing. And now that I think about that, it reminds me of how, like, Shula couldn't build the team around him, and then when you at least had a decent offense, Jimmy destroyed the offense around Marino. Made it worse for him. And then made it worse for his team. We don't get anything right. And it sucks. We thank Ira Winderman. We thank, of course, Sean Stanley, the man, the myth, the legend, getting it done. As always, we appreciate all of you out there. If you hit the like button, thank you. If you made a donation, a super chat, thank you very much. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Made a donation to help send us to Spain on our GoFundMe page. However it is that you reached out to support us, we appreciate it immensely. We'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.